Sede Obasa. Good evening, ma. You're welcome. Your mic is still muted, ma. Can you hear me?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma.
Okay, I want to celebrate every customer service enthusiast in the room this evening. I would have loved to go around and mention the names of everyone on the call, but I'd like to save some time. So please accept my warm welcome. The introductions have been done, so I'll just go straight into what we have for today. The theme for this time out has been carefully captioned as unlocking the hard currency in customer service. There are a few companies I'm going to ask you to follow or understudy after we're done with this class. One of it is Zappos. Zappos is an online store that sells shoes, and I think in the recent times they've added a few other items to their lines of delivery. I would also want you to study the case of Virgin Air. In particular, I want you to study the man, Richard Branson himself, because he's leading the frontiers when it comes to what customer service is creating. The avalanche of profit making, profit sharing that the entire group is experiencing and enjoying, is leading it, and has been able to build so many foot soldiers. I mean, soldiers who are customer service enthusiasts. He has been able to build customer service, like wound his entire business model around customer service. So whether it is the aviation aspect, talk about Virgin Air, or it is the telecoms, or it is the real estate, or it is the media, just name it, because as a group, Virgin Group has interest in so many sectors. Every time you think of Richard Branson, the closest person I could call your attention to here in Nigeria to help you quickly grasp the kind of person that I'm referring to will probably be Aliko Dangote, talking about divesting into several aspects, several industries, several sectors, and playing competitively there. But you see, something stands out for Richard Branson and his business endeavors, and that is the customer service tier. It's amazing. Look, by the time you take your time, I have often recommended people to read Like a Virgin. Like a Virgin is a book where he tried to put timeless reminders together about the power and prowess of customer service in changing the dynamics of that market. In the recent times, businesses like Apple have also joined the lead. They have joined the league of customer-centric organizations who know that the real business is customer service. What they sell is just an avenue to express customer service and make sales. So if you are writing down, I'm going to begin with some power shots. What I started with were recommendations that you should do an extra further after this session to read about it, because see, who you are does a lot to how you serve in customer service. If you have not been able to bring yourself to that point where you are, then what you do will not accurately, absolutely interpret it and give you the kind of result that you want. I have statistics and I'm going to roll them out sometime during this session, and you're going to see how amazing customer service can be if only we can have a hold on it. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely shift defining, shift creating. when it comes to your business, when it comes to reputation of your business and the people of your business, when it comes to sales, like literal sales, I'm not referring to assumed sales. I'm talking about literal sales. Then you will be amazed. So I'm going to begin on that note. I believe that many of us here have heard there's an engineer here in the room. There's a fashion designer here in the room. There are real estate people with real estate interests and responsibilities here in the room. There are trainers here in the room. So we have several dimensions. So, but guess what? Something is unique to everyone. You are offering service, and your organization needs sales. I'm going to begin by sharing with you the life cycle of sales/service. The life cycle. So if you have a pen with you, or you have a paper, or you have an iPad where you can create inscriptions, you can just draw an arrow that is an arc, and then and leave a space and draw another arrow that is an arc. Let the head of your arrows face, that should be clockwise, both of them. In between the space to your left and to your right that are, so the arrow should not join. So the light space between the left and the right part of, the left and the right spaces that you have, write sales at one end, the way you choose. You can choose to do left or right for anything. It will still come to the same result. So I'm trying to show you the life cycle of service, how they interact, service and sales. So you put sales at any of the two ends of the space and put service at the other part. The arrows that you have are literally saying, if you start with customer service, you will end with sales. If you start with sales, you must continue with customer service. If you start with customer service, you must end with sales. If you start with sales, you must continue with customer service. If you start with customer service, you will definitely end with sales. If you start with sales, you must continue with customer service. What's that analogy? I don't know. Some people here are very, very aggressive salespeople, like they can sell anything. You need to be as intentional about service provision, quality of service, which is client or customer service, in another word, as much as you are with closing a deal. So here is it. Sales life cycle is perpetuated with great customer service. Sales life cycle, C-Y-C-L-E, a cycle. A cycle. Back then, for those of us who did biology back then, there were several life cycles that we were made to understand and even to draw. The life cycle of a butterfly. So you see from larva to this, to that, until it gets to the main thing. And so life cycle. But the amazing thing about this life cycle is that it keeps revolving. You are the only one who can break it. So we're looking at the hard currencies. The hard currency, where is the hard currency? In customer service. We want to unlock it. And apart from encouraging you to continue to learn, you see, customer service is not something you can finish learning. It's not something you can finish understanding. It's not something you can say, oh yes, I know enough now. Never. Guess why? Because it involves people. People have their tastes ever changing, have their lifestyle ever evolving, have their what other interests ever changing. So if taste is changing, if interest is changing, if approach is changing, if pattern is changing, if interest is changing, you cannot afford to live with what you knew yesterday. You must be on the hotline when it comes to understanding customer service. And I'm going to share a few practical examples, or practical, do I call it testimonies now, with you as time permits me. Don't miss the track at all. We began with a charge from me saying that don't let it stop here. Whatever we do within these 1.5 hours will never be all that you need to be a wave maker when it comes to serving the clients. Never. But you see, it can kickstart a journey that will become your own cash cow, that becomes the reason or the way you make money. Like, you can literally call money into your pockets anytime you want it, if you understand this pattern of customer service that I'm talking about. There have been several ways that customer service have been taught, and my research for the past 8 years keeps tickling me like this thing works. So don't forget that the second point of call is that we are understanding the life cycle of sales. And I said to draw 2 arrows, one above, one below, so that it looks like an almost complete circle, but separated by space to your left and to your right. Choose to put sales to your right if you like, put customer service to your left, or do it the other way. The logic that cycle is teaching is you can choose to start with sales, but you must continue. You cannot continue without customer service. The life cycle of sales will be truncated when customer service is not on point. When you get it wrong at customer service, you truncate the life cycle of sales. So somebody else could start with customer service, and you're wondering, what do you mean starting with customer service? Absolutely true. There are people I have not sold to as we speak, but I offer them service. I offer them, for instance, many of the people in the room today, this is customer service. This is a freebie. This is adding value. It is one of the ways that customer service finds expression. When you go out of your way to deposit value ahead of a transaction, it is customer service. That's why the most interesting definition of customer service that I love says that customer service is the service that you offer before, during, and after a transaction. So a lot of people do not understand that before dimension to customer service. Or sometimes they throw it away, thinking that it is just NGO, being an NGO. No, you must understand what you are throwing out. They said that if you pay peanuts, you hire monkeys. Or if you pay bananas, you hire monkeys. So it therefore also means that if you understand, if you need monkeys, for instance, if monkeys represent sales to you, it means that dangling the banana will bring the monkey your way. But you must understand why you are dangling the banana. So if you are dangling the banana aimlessly, then you are going to lose your resources. So that's why today, when people do stuff like this, there is always that anticipation that there will be further engagements. But that's not it. So you can begin with customer service. It will definitely end in sales if all the other boxes are ticked, like I just explained. But if you start with closing a sale, if it must continue, you would have to understand, deploy customer service excellently, sustainably, consistently. So the theory that I've come up with says sales life cycle is perpetuated with great customer service. Sales life cycle is perpetuated with great customer service. Don't lose track on what this session is all about. Unlocking the hard currency in customer service. One of my most fundamental quotes that I came up with out of one of my deep interactions with my thoughts around customer service, I looked at it all and said, wow, customer service is hard work, but it pays in hard currencies. Customer service is hard work, but it pays in hard currencies. Customer service is hard work, but it pays you in hard currencies. Absolutely true and very thrilling. Absolutely true and very thrilling. There are a number of exciting things that I love about the interactions between customer service and sales. You may begin with sales, but you will require customer service to live out the full lifespan of one sale. You may begin with sales, like you close the sale because you are a marketer or you're a salesperson. We are all salespeople. I've come to realize that some years ago, I came to realize that whatever you are doing, if sales is not part of it, forget it. I love to use the word bagbe. You are off the track. Making money could be far-fetched because everyone, even in our dressing, we are selling. So if as basic as that, then why not understand how seriously it could be required for other areas? So you may begin with sales. You require customer service to live out the full lifespan of that sales. I will stop here and explain with some of my own experience or the experiences of our organization. I have always believed in the analogy that in every single client, you could get up to 7 generations of other patronage. I believe it. And gradually, in 8 years of being an entrepreneur and doing business, so I'm a practitioner of what I'm telling you right now. Everyone who has had interface with me on the service lane, on the sales lane, knows that I do not toy with service to the clients. I don't toy with it. I understand absolutely correctly how important it is. I know that I am as good as the way I served. My sales is as great as the way I served the last client. So, talking about full life cycle or full lifespan of any sale. In every sale, to be able to experience a full lifespan, you have got to understand what to throw in at every time. So this is not a class where we are coming to tell you, yes, speak to them lightly. Many of those things are out there. Most people know them. If you go online now and ask and just say customer service ideas, you will see deluge of ideas. So those ones, they are not an issue. I don't consider them an issue. Okay, respond quickly, do this, do that, and all. Yes, I think they are basic. I tell people that in customer service, certain things are basic and certain things are delightsome. You must transit from the basic to the delightsome. It's basic to smile. It's basic to respond. When you miss a call, it's basic to return a call and then to apologize for missing the call in the first place. It's basic to ensure people get their evidences for sales made at points of sale. It's basic. It's basic to relate well. All those things are basic. When jungle matures, customer service goes beyond all of that. So it's important and essential to continue to be a student of customer service. I would usually recommend that no serious-minded person should do 3 months without one customer service training or refresher course. Why? Because there's a lot to learn, a lot to unbundle. Back to our sales life cycle and the interaction that customer service creates for it. Sales without customers, I saw a quote yesterday, and that quote I've been spinning inside that quote since yesterday. So the script I got for the Mind Your Character show yesterday came with a very phenomenal quote. I love quotes. I'm a quote collector any day. Very good quote, pungent quote, quotes that sit you down and you are wallowing in those thoughts until you come out with something exceptional. So there is this two-man, TWOMAN, I think the first name is David, that says, sales without customer service. If you are writing, please, you need to put this down. Sales without customer service is like stuffing money into a pocket full of holes. Wow. Oh no. Sales without customer service is like stuffing money into a pocket full of holes. Wow. What will happen when you have your money going into pockets full of holes? Absolutely, you are running at a loss. So a lot of us in our organizations, and statistics are available to back the fact that with everything, with every sale that does not continue with customer service, there's truncation. Don't forget, when your sales does not continue with customer service, the life cycle is truncated. There's death. There's a literal death. There's loss of money. There's loss of investment. There's loss of effort. There's loss of, just name whatever you had put in to make it happen, because you stand a chance of experiencing more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other patronage in the line of that one. So, for instance, today in the real estate sector, RCV, our organization, serves about 10 real estate organizations. How did we get there? How is it gradually looking as if we play big in that space? How did we come about it? Customer service was the first thing. It wasn't sales at first. It was customer service as first. And I'll just leave the story there for you. And the amazing thing is, the more traction we created in this line, in this thread, the bigger the other people were willing to pay us above the initial clients. So we went, for instance, from 7 pertinence group. There are others that we started with. So I'm talking about a story of something that started in the year 2016, 2017. No, it didn't start 2016. It started 2015. Yes. So it was when introducing our product into the market. And then we came up with what I call the market entry strategy. We came up with a market entry strategy, which was to do a complimentary training for team members of the organization. We went there, did all the checks, delivered like we were paid to do the job. Thereafter, other inquiries came. How can we be? And then, of course, we already had well-structured platforms where we could bring organizations in on retainership basis. Long story cut short, that was how we began serving pertinence fully in the year 2016. The contract was sealed, and we had that platform as a platform to prove what we could do as development partners, as clients, productivity activation partners, as culture orientation partners, as leadership development partners, and every other kind of resources and value propositions that we came on board with. And gradually, there were people who were under pertinence. So I'm showing you the tree. So in this case, it started with customer service, but I can tell you it eventually resulted in sales. So the first sale had to do with pertinence herself bringing us on board. that, oh, we'd like to have you for 1 year. What are the things we can have? And that has been renewed every year ever since then. But that's not the biggest part of the story. The bigger part of the story is that there were people who were either staff members or marketers of pertinence who were growing through the ranks in that organization, who became persons of themselves and then came out of the organization and had their own engagement, their own business. And you will just sit in the office and then there's a call saying that we would like to have you do this for us. I will unbundle what happens when you allow the life cycle of sales and service to interchange without truncation, without starvation, without deprivation, with deliberate actions, well targeted. So, as at this week, right, the week ending today, we had gone to another generation of clients that came from another generation of clients that came from pertinence. And the story keeps on. So, what is the point here? If you begin with customer service, you will definitely end up with sales. But you see, if you end up with sales, you must continue with customer service. It's a revolver. You cannot cut it at any point. You must be so strategic. You must understand that this is a game plan. This is something that will work. So every time you step into any space and you're offering service, offer that service like you know that you are as great as the last great service that you rendered when it comes to sales. Amazing. Amazing. So if you have great customer service, you can serve anyone and sell to anyone. You can serve and sell to anyone. So I'm getting into I'm changing the dimensions now and inching further. There are people who think that there are those they cannot sell to. If you understand the power of customer service very well, there's almost nobody you cannot sell to. Yes, there are different kinds of humans. Yes, people have their different ways of responding to things. But you see, if you train up to be a customer service person, a customer-centric person, you're most likely able to sell to anybody. I will say jokingly to our team that there are different kinds of clients, but you need the money of every kind of client. So it's up to you as a service provider to continue to up your game in terms of understanding different kinds of clients and people. And if you have great customer service, you can manage every type of customer. You can manage every type of customers. Customer service is cheap. That's another point. So we're talking about hard currency. There are two ways to make money. Number one, save more money. Number two, make more money or manage more money. Well, both of them is, the second one is management. Either you make or you manage. So if you save up more money, that means you're managing what you have and you're ensuring that it gives you full value. Or you make more money. How does this relate in unbundling or unlocking the hard currency in customer service? I'll just explain. Customer service is cheap. It is cheap and effective, but it costs less than advertising. There are statistics, again, you probably have seen them. Every time these statistics are rolled out, the latest one, they tell you that if you satisfy one client, introduces you to 7. If a client is unsatisfied, he tells 14 people to stay away from you. So either ways, you are a greater loser when you are selling and you do not understand the dimensions, the practicality of customer service. It is cheaper to bring in, to sustain your existing clients than to bring in new ones. It is cheaper to sustain your existing clients than to bring in a new one. It is cheaper. What does that mean? If you sell real estate, for instance, and someone has bought from you at a location before, and then you have a new location, if with that sale, you had done your due diligence and delivered on customer service and are delivering on it, by the time you come around and say, oh, there's another location, and you know the person has capacity to buy, they are likely to ride on your customer service to take a decision faster than somebody who knows you from nowhere. You will need to do plenty of wowing, plenty of prepping, plenty of explaining, plenty of pitching, plenty of just name it. So the point here is, it is cheaper for you, that is management. You are a better manager of your sales record, your sales trajectory, if you understand the power of one client that you retain. I cannot stay here and fully unbundle the power of the one client called pertinence to RCV. I can, if I had to show you the threads, if I had to show the family tree to you, if I had to show the different dimensions to you, you will understand that there are some businesses where satisfying one client can be the link to so much more. I'll give you another example. In the year 2020, I was invited to speak on customer service. I remember the topic, sustainable customer service. And my audience were CEOs who were getting onboarded to handle subsidiaries for pertinence. He held at, I think, the Marriott or Radisson Blu, yes. In that room that day, typical of me, never taking any platform for granted, I do not go by what you call, what's that word now? Familiarity. I do never. There is nothing familiar about me when it comes to serving someone. I will usually describe myself as someone who rolls up my sleeve when it's time to serve. And I deploy energy, I deploy my brains, I deploy everything, I deploy my emotions. I make it so touchable, so feelable, so real. You cannot not have an experience. So that day I got into the room, I was there with a colleague of mine, and then this absolutely awesome CEOs were seated around the oval table, and I was doing my thing. I went from talking about each other. I had come into that hall that day with, I think, 4 case studies, and I'd gone to tear down all the exceptional ways that those different case studies had helped their business scale. And I was doing my thing. Then Mr. Nia Desoya walked into the room. Little did I know that he was part of putting that particular moment together. And then when I was done, he called me aside and said, have you worked at KPMG before? Have you done this before? He kept asking the questions. He went on and on. It was his first time of encountering me training. And that caught him so clearly, he could not miss me. He could not mistake me in any crowd anymore. Guess what? That has created over a period of time. I'm speaking at his event come November, but it started with him seeing quality of service provision at a quality wavelength he could not but stop and ask questions around. So there are several factors that play when it comes to customer service. But I want you to understand that one of the biggest hard currencies tied to customer service is sales. You cannot afford to toy with it. Customer service, I said, is cheaper than advertising. It is cheaper than advertising. Another point I want to make about customer service is that customer service offers you a shortcut to selling. The shortcut known as referrals. Customer service offers you a shortcut to selling called referrals. Customer service offers you a shortcut to selling known as referrals. Referrals are shortcuts to selling. Referrals are shortcuts to selling. I mean, everyone who is in this room who has never done anything and someone referred you can bear that witness. I will not want to stay on that because that has been explained earlier on in one of my examples. Customer service, the next point, takes you further than you are ever willing or ready to go. Customer service can take you further than you are ever ready to go when it comes to relationship building. Customer service can take you further than you are ready to go when it comes to building relationships. What do I mean by that? There are people that I serve who have become literal family. Because in customer service, it gets to a point, you care about the children of the people you're serving. And if they are children, you care about their parents. If it's a husband, you care about the wife. If it's a wife, you care about. So there's something about customer service that builds people affinity. Customer service has the capacity to take you further than you're willing to go, or sorry, ready to go when it comes to relationship building. Customer service makes family out of clients for you. It builds goodwill for you. Goodwill can be another word for reputation. It builds goodwill for you. Goodwill can be another word for reputation. And when reputation is involved, conversion is possible. And when reputation is involved, conversion is possible. It's a type of conversion that cannot end except you end it. You are the only one who has the capacity to end the level of conversion that takes place based on goodwill, also called reputation, when it has to do with customer service. I want to pause here and know if there are questions. And I really will not know how much of my time is left, but I want to pause and ask if there are questions before I leave you with 4 areas I think you should immediately commence building. Like, if your customer service was a tree that you wanted to plant, for some of us who know about tree planting, you know that certain rituals are crucial when you are planting a tree. You come in with your manure, you ensure that the earth you are using is best suited for the kind of tree. You are sure that the location is fine. You are sure nothing will truncate its growth. And then you come, you do your tree planting. So if customer service was a tree you were meant to be planting tonight, and you want it to grow until this tree begins to bring hard currencies for you, what are those things that you should bring as additives, as encouragers of the growth of that tree, whether manure and the rest of them? So I will leave you with those 4, but I need to know whether this has been useful so far. I think the room is feeling like too quiet, too cold. Let me know who is getting what. Let me know what you can remember. Let me know if there's question. And of course, Dr. should also let me know how much of time my session still is. I want this in-between interaction. I know you have a proper time for questions, but let's have a few interactions if I still have the luxury of time for that. But I definitely will not exit without sharing the 4 aspects, I think, because these 4 aspects, we build goodwill for you. And goodwill is a family member to reputation. And when reputation is built and it is strong, it is conversion leading. You keep using it. It becomes a switch that you can use at any time to create sales. And from sales, you build more goodwill, you get more sales, you build more goodwill, you get more sales, you build more goodwill. In this life, what everybody is looking for is goodwill. In this life, what everybody is building is reputation. And reputation comes by actions, comes by the manner of doing things, comes by the way of communication, and so many things. So I'm going to leave you with 4. I want you to pay attention to those 4, and they can serve as lever for others that you have to. So yes, let me maintain some quiet and find out what have we got. We have been looking at customer service, unlocking the hard currency in customer service. Let's go. Who do I have? I like the AK-47 name though. Who will bear the cards? Please just raise the hand and then you have the floor. Should I invite people to speak? Yes. Has everybody JP? Okay, Madam Uzo Amaka. Oh, she was one of the very first people that came in, if not the first. Oh, I can see Mr. Jerry Ola Uton, Wheatville Properties Limited. And then I can see Akin Olu. This 30 minutes, does it include the question and answer time? And I can see Flakes. Okay. Okay. Tosco Clothes. Let's hear you. Let's hear you out. I need to be sure that I've been making sense. And that this will be absolutely useful for you as you step out of this room. Or if you want it tilted to a particular dimension, let's hear you out. This is an essential part of my session. Feedback. It's customer service to get feedback. Okay. Let me feel your pulse. Mr. Samuel Aino. Okay, the 30 minutes is part of question and answer. So we are properly in the question and answer session, I guess. Mrs. Ashade Yetunde. Okay, and I can see Rebecca. Yes, let's have you. Let's have you. Let's save some time. Mr. Faro. Oh, my friend, AY. And then Mrs. Oladeji. And Nwanko Onyekachi. Yes. I don't like it. I don't want to continue without hearing from you. Let's hear you out. Mrs. Itepo. I've called almost everybody except the RCV people, and deliberately so.
Okay. It looks like there's a question from Tosco Clothes. Yes.
Okay.
So it says, how do we get constant favor from customers?
What's contact favor?
Constant
Like
favor.
constant.
Yes.
Constant what? Favor?
Yes, ma. Favor.
Okay, maybe you should unbundle the word favor. I don't want to answer his question correctly. I mean, wrongly. I want to answer it correctly. Constant favor from a customer. Is it favor in terms of sales? Is it favor in terms of patronage? Okay. Okay, so you chose to use the word favor. How do we get it? How do we get it?
And there's
that customer service department be outsourced. Okay. Okay, how do we get constant favor? When I share those 4 things that you should make a given, they will tell you exactly. They will tell you exactly 4 things. 4 things that can continue to create dimensional repeat patronage for you. 4, because you are going to have to make them crucial part of your revolver. Remember, I shared the revolver analogy with you. From sales to customer service to sales, sales to customer service to sales. So many of us understand exactly how to attack sales, but thereafter, what should I be doing in customer service? So yes, I can see the questions are coming. And Mr. Olauton's question, Mr. Olauton's first question says, I'll just read it now. Okay. Can customer service department be outsourced or automated at all? Both of them are possible. But the orientation I like to give people is that customer service is everybody's business in an organization. There are some 7 time-tested keywords that we came up with, I think, in 2018. And one of it, evergreen, is that customer service is not just somebody's business, it's everybody's business. I will recommend that you attack customer service in your organization as everybody's business. So if I get your question correctly, you are saying, can it be outsourced? Yes, it can be outsourced. Can it be automated? Yes, it can be automated. But you see, automation, talking about CMR and the rest of them and every other thing that helps you, automation is great to the end that it helps you deliver faster. But you see, automation should not be for reducing human connection purposes. That should not be the only reason. It should be because we want to be able to give you faster service. So if your automation, for instance, is geared towards faster delivery of services, more efficient delivery of services, then awesome, it will work well. But if it is about fewer people having connections with your clients, then it might have its own downtimes. It might have its own downtime. I can tell you for free that even in climes where you can go and research what I'm saying now, even in climes where automation is already fully operational, they now desire to be able to talk to someone, live chat, talk to someone when they are trying to get a few things or certain things done. So you have to balance it. So Mr. Olauton, my word will be balance, test your market, know what suits your kind of clients, but in all, one major thing stands out of all: customer service is not just somebody's business, it is everybody's business. Then I have this. I have been having a great time here. Feels like a refresher course. Thank you. Okay, that's from Yemisi Tepu. Is customer service only towards sales, or can we have it within? Is customer service only towards sales, or can we have it within same organization? Okay, so Mr. Akin Olu, I'm afraid it's looking like I am not getting the exact thing you're saying, but I'm going to try to respond. If it does, I'll be glad, but if it doesn't, please let me know. So, can customer service, you said, is customer service only tailored towards sales? Well, customer service is not only tailored towards sales, but customer service inadvertently brings sales. For instance, customer service, I told you, one of my greatest definitions that I love a lot is that customer service is service offered before, during, and after sale, after a transaction. So before, for instance, maybe a goodwill there, maybe a freebie here, maybe maybe an assistant here, maybe a support there, maybe a help there, which are active words for every customer-centric person. You must be familiar with the words assist, support, help, create solution, and serve. So those 5 words are like your lifelines: support, assist, help, create solutions, serve. They are your lifelines, they are your activators. Every time you think of customer service, you think of assisting, you think of supporting, you think of creating solution, you think of helping, you think of serving. Then we now come to the quality. So, Mr. Olu, it is not necessarily geared towards sales. But you see, for most organizations today, customer service is literally geared towards sales, because even retaining your existing client is a dimension of sale. Because if they are satisfied, they bring in new people for you. They bring in new people for you. So yes, you might set out, and I was saying it, that don't waste your seed. If you have great customer service, you should open up for the reward of your sales. You should open up, you should anticipate it, you should orchestrate it, you should even demand for it. So guess what? Why do people say, if we have actually served you well, could you recommend us to someone? So you see, they go hand in glove. It's a revolver. It's a revolving exercise. From sales to customer service, you start with sales, you must continue. No, mind you, I've used the word must because I know the importance. I use it with all sense of responsibility. If you jettison service after sale, you truncate the life cycle, the sales life cycle. Okay, so if that answers your question, I'm glad. But if it doesn't, let me know. I also have here, are there truly, okay, good. Mr. Olauto said, are there truly difficult customers that can't be pleased? No matter what? If yes, how do we handle them? I love this question so much. And I have a training that we have called Handling Difficult Customers. But you see, when you see that slide, right, you will see the word difficult in inverted commas. Inverted commas are those single commas at the beginning and ending of a word. And what does it usually mean when there's inverted commas around a word? It means that there could be other meanings attached to this word than you literally know. Number 2, it could mean that pay extra attention to the way this word is being used in this context. Why do we do that on our slide? We do it because we do not encourage people to label or name their clients difficult. Now, difficult is what it seems like, but the word difficult does not serve as a synonym to impossible. It is not an impossible client. It is a difficult to please. So it is not the client that is difficult. It is unbundling them to be able to please them that you are trying to find your way around. Mr. Jeremiah Olauto, I hope you're understanding the dimension. So it's about perception, it's about reorientation, and it's about mindset. The customer, for you don't have a thing with his personality. You don't have a thing against his personality. But in the case that has to do with your sales or service to him or her, you are finding it difficult. So the responsibility falls back on you. Great salespeople take responsibility. So you take the responsibility that you are the one who is yet to find how to please that client. With that kind of orientation, you are in a better stead in your thinking and in your creativity and your innovation or innovativeness to be able to eventually. Haven't you heard people say that some clients that appear very difficult at the beginning became their greatest raving fans? What was different? Or number 2, haven't you seen when a client is very, very difficult and then you escalated the issue to someone? Maybe you as a client-facing person is having an issue with a particular person, and then maybe your superior decided to jump in to help out, and then you are surprised that your superior was able to bring them to steal, and then to also make them still do business. I am not talking about clients who might be tricky, who might have ulterior motives. I'm talking about clients who are said to be difficult in the line of getting served. So this is how I encourage you to refer to them. They are difficult to please. They are not difficult clients. They are difficult to please clients. They are not difficult clients. The difficulty is not about who they are. Difficulty is about you unbundling them, being able to understand what you do not get yet about how to connect with them correctly and get it done. Because you see, if you want to name difficult clients, there will be different rooms and platforms for you to do so. It might shock you that you have up to 25% difficult clients around the world. Take 25% out of the total clients that you will ever put into your bracket. You have only 75 to fight. And who assures you that you will make 50 out of 25? So we must come to service with the orientation that we have the job to understand the thinking, the dimension, and even stay ahead of the client. And I think that I'm already, through these questions, I'm already taking care of some of the things I wanted to mention. So what else do I have? Mr. Olato, I hope that answered your question. And the next one is, from Flakes, why do clients clamp down when they speak to a supervisor? Exactly. Flakes just took the words out of my mouth. Why do clients calm down when they speak? It is psychology. So you see, if you must become better as a salesperson, you must sit down and understand what Flakes just asked now. He said, because they will probably have told them the same thing that we have told them. How do we make them accept what we have told them without talking to a superior? I love this question because it shows me someone who wants to take responsibility, someone who wants to create solutions without escalating problems that he or she believes that they could and they should have been able to solve. So it's in line with what I just explained. It's in line with what I just explained, and I'm just going to pick a few things from what I just said while I was answering Mr. Jeremiah Olauton's question around client service. How that difficult clients should be seen as difficult to please. That means you need an extra quotient of patience. You have an extra quantum of patience, and then a stronger emotional quotient. EQ. You need a stronger. There's something about presence. There's something about attention. There's something about making it your resolve that you want an issue to be taken care of. And you see, even when you must escalate, because I do explain, I tell people that if you get to a point where you think you're at your wit's end, escalate before things go out of hand to the next person. What's important is that you do not lose the client trying to achieve, because sometimes it's psychology. Right? It's psychology. Sometimes the client just wants to see a new face. The client is taking the issue personally with you. Meanwhile, you are trying to help them handle the issue as an issue. Flakes, if you are following me, I'm saying that there are times when an angry, upset, or dissatisfied client, they won't tell you, sometimes they won't tell you, take me to your boss. But you see, everything you are trying to say, they are rebuffing. That's because something may have triggered them to undo the issue as a personal issue with you, the client-facing person. So the moment they get another person in the bracket, they simmer, they calm down, the way you called it. They calm down, even though calm down is a bit pedestrian to use for your client. It's not a bit, it's actually pedestrian to use. So you must look for other synonyms that will not trigger someone who knows the meaning. Because for instance, if you say the word calm down to somebody that knows and is a client, that could become a major reason why they don't even want to see your face. So reason why sometimes a client will not want to have an issue resolved, he or she may have taken it personally. And when they have, it might be very difficult. And you must have triggered that, which they might not be willing to tell you. So that's why we must continue to up our games. Like I said, you cannot afford to leave things lying down. You cannot afford to leave things. So I hope that kind of helps you. And because I have to go to other ones. Yes. Okay. What's the best approach? I believe that has been explained. And I have Mrs. Ashade. She says, in a situation where a client is satisfied with your service, but not happy with your offering the product, and you are losing referrals, what can be done? Fix the issue with the product. There's something that is said in an advertising class or a marketing or advertising class. They'll say to you that, thank you, Flakes, I saw your response. So they'll say to you that you can use a beautiful marketing strategy to sell a bad product once to a client. But if you're going to sell that same bad product to the same client, you will have to use something on them like jazz, because nobody opens up to heartbreak with their open eyes twice from the same person. It means that you must fix the quality of product issue. It's very, very important. I mean, there's no other way. There is no other way. You have to fix it. So you should talk to your team and plead with them. Let them see how that this isn't helping. You're losing referrals. And referrals are so sweet. I can tell you, referrals are so sweet. They make life easy. So everything that can make you please a client, get them happy with the products and everything in the line, and then they are able to say, I stick my head out. Because every time someone gives you a referral, they are standing, what do we call that thing? Shorty. They are standing as shorty for you. They are saying that I stick my reputation out for this brand. And that's huge. You can't play with that. So from Jane, I have, how do I convince a client that he needs our product? And later said he'll get back to me. I've been handling this get back to me thing over a period of time, safely since this month. I will get back to you is a state where the clients, a lot of things happen when they say, I'll get back to you. There are people who have not bought from RCV, but they totally love our brand. And every time we market to them or keep our clients warm with them, maybe reach out and say hi or show up at their events and then offer a greeting here and there, you hear things like, we absolutely love RCV and we're only getting ready to bring you in. That could be one part of I'll get back to you. The other part could be that the person does not have the money yet. The other part could be that the person is not convinced about you, the person who is the go-between the product and selling. So a lot of things should be checked. And I think that's the point where I'm going to quickly share how to, yes, referrals are sweet. Yes, so sweet. I can tell. Okay. In a situation where, yes, is it from
Samuel, I know. No, there's a Mr. Samuel, I know question. Just immediately after Flake's question.
Immediately after Flake's question. What I can see at my end here is Samuel, I know. How do I convince? Yes, I have addressed it. How do I convince a client that he needs our product? And he says, I'll get back to you. That's the one I was addressing before.
Okay, no,
that's the one I was addressing.
Okay.
From him as well.
From Mr. Samuel, I know that says, in a situation where you try to satisfy a client repeatedly on a particular
Wondering
project.
why I can't see that. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, please read it.
In a situation where you try to satisfy.
Oh, yes, I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen it. In a situation where you try to satisfy a client repeatedly on a particular project, but satisfaction of the client is not met. Client is getting angry and you're trying your best to get results, but to no avail, and you're getting frustrated. Please, what is the best approach? Mm. It's like it's twisted. It's twisted. So I have a few questions, for instance, to be able to answer this question. Number one, why can't you get results? Number two, how do you measure the fact that you have satisfied the client? Did the client say, I am satisfied? Another beautiful code line that we created in 2018 that I mentioned is that it is not when you are not the one to say that the client is satisfied. The client is not satisfied until the client says, I am satisfied. So if the client has not said that, how did you know the client is satisfied? Those are my questions that will help me answer your question well. Stop the determinants that's supposed to help you be able to satisfy the client. We might have to see maybe in camera how they call it now. I'm willing to be able to assist with this so that I can help you unbundle. There are a few questions to ask to be able to get that question answered. So please oblige me and attention with you briefly after. You can also chat me up directly, possibly. When a client is satisfied, okay, where am I now? Each time I see Mrs. Obasa, the only thing that comes to my mind is our customers. Thank you for this refresher course. Okay. And more than you have. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's Ayomide. I'm glad. Thank you for your encouraging words. Okay, so at that point, I have addressed the questions that may be possibly addressed here in the room, and our time is gradually coasting home. So let me quickly drop these 4 lines. We will not be able to unbundle them seriously, but I will mention them and do a bit around them so that I can hand over to Dorcas in another 5 minutes. Hopefully, I'm able to do that. Okay, because she has 1 or 2 announcements for us just before we're done. There are 4 cardinal things you should do. So one of the ways you can create an excitement around your person, this is customer service hard currency class. We're unlocking it. There's a way that you can become the reason why you sell. Not just the product, but the product is important. Not just the company, but this company is important. You can become the reason why people stay with the brand. You can become the reason why people buy from a brand. You can become the reason why people refer. How do you make your person, like literally carry yourself as the powerhouse of customer service around? I call it, it's a model I just created this month of October, and it's called the cute reputation. C-U-T-E, cute reputation. You know, when anything is cute, people love it, they hug it. Like, oh, baby is cute. Kemi is here, and I know Kemi also hug babies a lot. Kemi Oladeji. And I say, okay, cute baby. Or if it's a guy that is cute, so all the ladies are like, wow. If it's a lady, so everything that is cute calls attention. People want to have more than enough of it. What's the cute reputation that you must start working on going forward? See, you must settle down and understand that customer service is hard work that pays in hard currency. If you don't start the journey deliberately, you may never arrive at that point where you can call sale at every point. You can call sales at every point. Sometimes we still do things shabbily. Today we get it right. Tomorrow we decide to do it anyhow. It doesn't work like that. It is serious work. So I want to put in your hands as we leave your parting shot, which can also be your take-home assignment that can help you start a deliberate journey as a consumer-centric person, is to build a cute reputation in the minds and assessment and evaluation of people who should buy from you. That reputation, C-U-T-E, 1, courteous. You need to cut across as a courteous personal brand. Under courteous, you have respectful, you have, what other things? You have respectful, you have empathetic, you have so many things, everything around honoring, adoring the client. And there's a famous quote about courtesy. Okay, courtesy is the noun, courteous is the adjective. So adjective is what I want you to live with. I'm a courteous personal brand. You don't say it alone, you depict it. What does courtesy mean? It means acknowledging the presence of the client. It means caring about what the client feels about what you're doing. It means asking the client whether they are satisfied and not wait for them. I tell people, ask for feedback. Don't wait for feedback. You can't be a salesperson that is waiting for feedback. Ask for feedback. Open yourself up for reviews. It builds trust in your brand. When people know that you're willing to expose yourself to reviews, they think that you are trustworthy and that you're willing to listen. There's confidence built. So I'm saying that build a cute brand, a cute reputation that can make you evolve in sales going forward. C stands for courteous. Be a courteous brand. Under courteous, every niceties that you know, every caring attention attitude goes under that. So if you are the type that can walk away and not say hi to people until they say, what are you selling? You're getting it wrong already. So let me leave you with this quote. Courtesy costs nothing but buys everything. Please write it down. You might need it. Courtesy costs nothing but buys everything. Courtesy costs nothing. Present continuous. Courtesy costs nothing but buys everything. All doors open to courtesy. Guys, hey, look. If I were to stay around this quote alone and use it to teach you customer service, you'll be baptized into courtesy all your life. Like, you will not know any other thing to do than to be courteous. Do you say sir to people when they talk to you? Do you look down on people? A lot of people have missed the people who should buy from them or lost the people who are buying from them because you don't pay the requisite attention to the people who are doing business with you. And another person is dangling attention around them and they just move easily. There is no connect. They don't feel connected. They don't feel like they owe you anything. It's easy for them to sever ties with you because there is no connection. Courteous. The quote says, courtesy costs nothing, but buys everything. All doors open to courtesy, including the doors of client retainership, client attraction, sales, acquisition, everything you can ever imagine. The second one is you. You is understanding, and you is answering the question of where with our knowledge, your skill in terms of knowledge. So how much do you know about what you're doing and what you're selling? How well can you help the client travel from one point of I do not know to the point of I now understand and I'm willing to buy? Understanding was the tool that the man in the Bible, permits me, the man in the Bible, I think his name was Philip, that helped the other man to decide to buy. What did he do to that guy? The guy, he wanted a product, but didn't understand the product that he wanted. He took that guy on a journey from what he didn't know to what he knew until he said, I'm ready, let me buy. This is money. Let conversion take place immediately. As a salesperson, understanding not just your product knowledge, understand the industry, understand dimensions, understand trends, be able to take your clients on the journey. When they seem confused, be able to read their confusion and direct their understanding, not to your own ulterior motive. No, because if you do that, you have truncated the next thing, which is T, trustworthy. So cut across as an understanding brand, a brand that knows. And when I'm saying brand, I'm not talking about your company, I'm talking about you. Because you are a brand. If you are building a cute reputation as a brand, a personal brand, you can command sales even at the lowest ebb, at the lowest moment of your organization. You can still be selling. This is crazy. I'm telling you, you can still be selling. As in, you can still be selling. So, because people are vested trust, which takes me to the third one. T, trustworthy. Build a trustworthy reputation. As a customer service person who understands that your takeaway from customer service is sales, your continuity from sales is customer service. You cannot change. The dimension remains. Trustworthy. Be a trustworthy brand. Let your yes be yes, your no be no. Do not try to sell at all costs by lying about the composition of the product, because the moment that you are found out as being fake, you lose the reputation that you have built, and your end will be worse than when you started, literally speaking. So please, it's very important. I don't need to be breaking it down, but you see, when you are trusted, or they smell or perceive you as a trustworthy brand, you gain economic impact, you gain enhanced reputation, you gain influence and persuasion, you gain trust and reliability. Do you know what reliability is? When somebody, do you know what happens when you're carrying a baby? Some of us in the room here have babies, or have had babies when they were very little. Do you know the way babies lie down on the chest of their father, for instance? They don't fear that anything is going to happen. They are there like we die here kind of thing. So trustworthiness as a key factor, key success factor when it comes to sales or customer service, we're unlocking the hard currencies. Hard currency because it requires hard work, consistent work, concerted work, deliberate work, intentional work. Very important. Very important. And the last one is excellence. My goodness, there are people, if you do not push yourself out there as a brand of excellence, I'm talking about you as a person, from your looks, from your looks to your courage, to the way you do the things you do, your package, your presentation, your everything package and presentation. If you don't cut across as a brand that is excellence oriented, there are clients you will never be able to serve or attract. It means that poor quality, like we were saying in the product issue, we benchmark you with mediocres. But moments when you begin to give excellence the rights that it requires in your scheme of things, you begin to attract people who smell and perceive excellence, who can only breathe or live based on excellence. You can't afford it. So when you can't afford to miss it out. So when I say build a cute brand, I'm saying be cautious, display understanding at the most amazing level, be trustworthy, and then be excellence driven. With this, I can assure you that if this becomes your pattern of operation, if you make this box, the boxes you tick when you are serving a client, you are likely by almost 85% to retain your clients, to have them rely on absolutely having their rest in you. And not just that, they can stick their neck out, because see, once a client is convinced, persuaded, or satisfied, they become your raving fans. They become your evangelists, like some people like to call it. And then you enter that mode of referrals where money never stops. Somebody called that today. I attended a session today. The person called it daily something account, something like money coming to your account daily. So yes, that will be it. Go and build a cute reputation in your customer service deployment, and thank me later as you begin to get the naira and dollar coming in. If you must serve diasporans, for instance, you cannot underestimate the things I just shared with you now, because the journey of everyone in any kind of business today is diasporan driven. The world has become They call it a global village. Some people have said it's a global sitting room. So that means that there is no distance in the spirit. There's no distance in the spirit. So what you do here, someone hears somewhere else. And once you connect with their frame of reference, there you're in. You might be in Nigeria, it doesn't matter. Once they smell or perceive you as a person with that level of reputation, they will want to try you out. And if they find you so, you're in. You're in. There is no village people that can stop it. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dorcas. I couldn't do 5 minutes, but this is exactly 7:30.
Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. Please, I need to see your reactions in the comment section. Thank you so much, Mrs. Obasa. That was mind-blowing. I need to see your comments. So everybody, Mr. Hazobo, Mrs. Ashade, Miss Rebecca, Mr. Jerry, Mr. Kyunlu, I need to know how useful this was for you tonight. And for those that had questions, let's know if your questions were answered very well. So yes, thank you so much, Mrs. Bosede Olushola Obasa. Just in case you don't know who she is, I would suggest you just check her out on social media. Check out on Facebook, check out on Instagram, and you are going to be amazed. I tell you that for free. So thank you so much, Ma, for this amazing session. Thank you everyone also for joining. So I have two quick things to say. There will be a link in the group shortly after this session, and that is where we need your feedback. Just like she was saying while she was speaking, your business, your brand should be open always to feedback. So we need your feedbacks on how useful you found this session to be. And also we have, I want to call it a promo. Yes, we have a promo running. We have a 50% discount offer running currently for our clients. It could be clients you already have and prospective clients. And it's something around your sales and reputation as a brand. It's also for 90 minutes. So in case you own a business, you are in charge of a team, Mrs. Obasa herself will be the one taking that session to come talk to your sales team about the importance of their personal reputation and how you're supposed to help your brand. So for everything training, everything consulting, Mr. Samuel, I know you already have a short and free session with her on the question you asked. She said you should reach out to her personally after this. So she's going to be responding to your questions very directly. So yes, those are the things I have to say. So it's nice to meet everyone in this room. In case you are just experiencing RCV for the first time, RCV means First Royal Character and Values Limited. Everywhere we go, we always pride in the fact that we are always adding value to you. So just as you're leaving this group and you're dropping all your reviews, as soon as this call ends, there will be a link in the WhatsApp group. And the WhatsApp group will be open. Yes, it will be open for further conversations. You get other offers, other announcements. Yes. So you should always check out the messages on that group for further information from us. So thank you very much, everyone. We would not like to keep you beyond 7:30. This is 7:34. So thank you so much for joining. You can follow us on social media at RCV Character, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can also follow us on Mind Your Character also. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. On this note, we're about wrapping up and ending this call. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Night.